No, I mean some of the clubs like the Frederick.
Look around the room.
The Frederick Club, they charge about $25. I think their fee is $25, and they must have 200 members show up for those meetings, and most of them are young people. They're in their 30s, 40s.
I'm just asking the question.
Yeah, I mean it's.
Bring up the fact how is this impacting the age level of our club and members in.
Obviously, it's not, because we're not seeing young people show up at what we charge now. So, but I think a way to boost it is to look at, focus on the weekly meeting, not the annual. The annual, at $200, I think is, getting to the point where you might start weeding some people out that normally would attend. Where if it's $2 versus $5 on a weekly basis, that's easier to stomach for me personally. I think.
Well, we can, we'll
Right.
bring this up with the board
Sure.
and, kind of discuss this again. This question was about the club's camaraderie. Most people were somewhat satisfied, and there's a couple of comments that I took excerpts from, and that you'll see, which kind of gets to this question a little bit more too, I think. Plus this idea about having breakfast. This one was just, surveys are also intended to provide information. So I figured that a lot of people didn't even know we have a Facebook page. Apparently, in this instance, there was only one person that didn't. And that was set up so that club members could put their own, like stuff from the trash pickup. That could be just posted by any club member kind of thing. But it really hasn't been used very much, so that was one reason why it was put in here. And then of course our website, which has shown that people have gone to look at that at least 1-4 times. And as you know, it was revamped by Megan. She's did a beautiful job on it. Although I have to say, at one point I asked about putting a membership form up there. It's not there yet. So anyhow, that was just. Now this one, I was thinking of Chris with this because I can remember at one point he asked for some of us to help with, it was sort of a mentoring thing, and I don't believe he got any response. So I thought I would ask this question, specifically, since we sponsor an Interact Club, how interested would you be in helping out with this? And the first one was periodically attending their meeting. 5 people were very interested, 8 were somewhat interested. The next one was mentoring, and again, that was 3 and 6 people were interested in mentoring. And then joint community projects, which would be a good way, and we do involve them with the Oyster Festival, the seafood chowder sales, which we didn't count on the things that we do, but
No, it was on the Oyster Festival.
because that gets a lot of participation. But and then the last one was the social activities, and folks said they were somewhat interested in that. So I think this. Yes, ma'am.
Just I was going to ask another question. Sorry. In Ohio, there was a community service requirement for high schoolers. Mm-hmm. Is that here too? Mm-hmm. So why? Like with the roadside cleanup, wouldn't that be something you might go to Interact and say, hey, here's an opportunity for...
They have an age limit on it.
For the roadside
for
cleanup?
liability purposes.
Really?
The State Highway Administration does.
Really? We did river cleanup with the students.
Now that might be a little bit different.
Could do parks.
Yeah, but roadside.
We did invasive species removal as one of our community service projects that the kids really liked being part of. Just a thought.
So, I thought that
You're bad.
this was kind of interesting to, see the response. I did the same thing for the Rotaract Club at the college, which right now we are not sponsoring, to my knowledge. I think
We are, but they've dropped out. The kids themselves have kind of laid low all year and not doing anything.
okay. So
Yeah, we had a previously Kelly Schroeder,
right.
who I think she still is a member of our club, but she's been so busy, and she was the sponsor, the official sponsor for the Rotary Club down at the college, and she's just been too busy to deal with that the last couple of years with the new administration, and I think that's what's happened there.
So, and we did, a couple of years, we did invite them to some of our social things. And then this is overall, how satisfied are you? People are very satisfied or somewhat satisfied. One person was somewhat dissatisfied. Now, I don't know who that was, but. And then, how likely are you to?
Understand that I received these responses by email. I literally put them in a folder. I printed them out, and all I did was say this was the first response, 1 through 20. I handed them to Colleen. So
We don't know.
try to respect people's confidentiality and.
So again, no one is saying you're ready to walk out the door. Now, these are some of the comments, and again, I suppose you can't see them. And this is only part of the comments, but one was to plan and organize activities for the range of members, both young and older, spread the workload over the membership. One person commented that they were very impressed with the service above self aspects of the club, which I think was good feedback, and it kind of goes back to what I've said about when you look at all the things that we're involved in. This one, eating together heightens the experience of camaraderie, and I know this was something that Stu has talked about, is the way we sit here. Does this help us interact with one another? But the room layout also creates an awkwardness in terms of moving around.
And that wasn't me.
and actually, this is a
We all
relative.
sit in our assigned seats where we sit in the
Yeah.
same place every time. We don't interact.
Yeah,
Right.
one week he couldn't even find me because I wasn't sitting by the window.
Right. So, and that was one of the things when we did the membership drive. What she did is she forced us to sit someplace else,
Take us out of our comfort zone.
and the random team that we were assigned to and that kind of thing. Another comment was the club seems vague and unclear, a little disorganized. Maybe we should be setting some long-term goals or direction. And I think to a degree, obviously, a budget is how you make things happen. And so probably there is more organization than might appear, but we don't share the budget. I mean, if you're not on the board, have you ever seen the budget for this club? So I think that's one of those things that we need to be a little more cognizant of, as well as I think at one point we talked about making the board minutes available to the membership so they could see what we've been doing. One comment about, I feel like I have my wallet open every time. I have to open my wallet every time I come to a meeting.
All right, I take responsibility for the fine problem there, Stu. Sorry, whoever didn't like that, it was just for fun.
Back to Lynn's comment about nobody reading. I do think that you can cut off some dissatisfaction of your membership if you are presenting that transparency of having the minutes and having the budget and everything available. I'm not saying I'm dissatisfied in any way, but I've been in a lot of organizations and a lot of boards where there's this, they're not telling me that darn executive committee, and it can create a situation. So if you make those things available, you cut that off at the pass.
Either that, of course, we're not supposed to be in the comment section or commenting on comments, but for a while, and I think David Rooney did this, the last Thursday of the month, just before we do our business sessions, he did a summary of what happened at the board. Because nobody was reading the minutes. In that summary, if you weren't paying attention,
It's really not about whether they're reading it, it's about whether you're providing it just to prevent, it can prevent heartache, basically.
Put it on our website.
Yeah.
For members.
So that way if somebody says, I don't like this that the board's doing or whatever, well, it was there, you had, or I don't know what the board's doing. on our website.
Okay,
Transparency.
then the, another comment was, I think it's the best club in the district. Maybe Chris put that in, he just left, I don't know who put that in, but, another was they're very much enjoying participation in the club. And then the last one that I pulled out was that Rotary does a lot of wonderful things around the world, but the focus, for this member was that what we can do in the local community is very important. Yes, Steve?
I'd like to address that issue a little bit, because the reason I came in late this morning is I was responding to one of the district grant applications. There's a forum this Saturday up the road, and the clubs that are doing district grants, which are local projects using some of the money that comes back from the money we send to the Rotary International. There's about a dozen clubs in the district this year that want to do things everywhere from eye exams for kids in the Baltimore City schools to lunches for on weekends for low-income children in Montgomery County to, a host of things that they here locally, Lexington Park, Charlotte Hall, and I forget the other club. They want to make improvements to Camp Maria over in Leonardtown, fix some of the handicap ramps, these sorts of things, and you can get up to $4,500 from the district to do those things. They're supposed to be done within 1 year. We have not, other than the Oyster Project, which we got $9,000 because we got 2 district grants for that 2 years in a row, which is unusual. We have not taken advantage of that, but a lot of the other clubs do, and so and you don't have the limits that you do on the types of projects that you do with the international projects. So that's something to think about when I read that comment about wanting to do local projects. We can get money from Rotary International in the district through the district grants for that work, if you have any ideas.
All right, well, that actually is the last one, and we are way over time. I thank you for hanging around. I could make these results available to you. I don't know whether you want to see them or not. I don't particularly think we should put them on the website. But anyhow, that's all I have. And again, I thank you very much for those of you who answered.